Good morning, Terry. Happy Tuesday, my friend.
Hey, good morning to you too.
Hey, we had I know yesterday we talked about MLK Day and we got the show started with one of my favorite MLK quotes. I'm kind of like into, I don't know what the right word is, but self motivation, that sort of thing, trying to be as good as you can be. And one of my favorite quotes, as we mentioned yesterday, was the street sweeper quote from Martin Luther King, where he said, if you're going to be a street sweeper, make sure that when the heavens and earth see your work, they say the best damn street sweeper that ever lived here. And we tried our best to live up to that yesterday at Santa Anita. We had a pretty good day. I know there was a lot of exactas, trifectas, superfectas in our picks.
That's
Mr.
right.
Early pick four, had the late pick four. We probably could have did it for a lot less because quite a few of the top picks actually won those legs. So
Right.
day overall, I think.
That's right. It was a great day. I thought it was really fun. So
Mm-hmm. So today we have on tap, and we better get cooking right away, Terry, because PARX is our track du jour today. And I think the first race is coming up pretty quick, right?
yeah, well, they extended the start time about 20 minutes, so it's about 25 minutes from now.
Are
So
they having some cold weather or something over there again?
I don't know. I just know they changed the post time to start from now on. So
Oh, going forward?
yeah, maybe
I didn't.
people complained or something. I don't
Maybe
know.
because our show couldn't get on in time.
Could be.
We're,
They
we're
could have.
having we're having an impact that we never thought we would have, Terry.
That's right. Yeah.
We got tracks canceled. We caused tsunamis. Let's see what else do we did. We get jockeys in trouble when they come on our show. Not in trouble, but some blowback from folks online. Hi, Mike. How you doing this morning? Good to have you with us from East Texas. Is
All
that
right.
oil country, right? Over there in East Texas. I've only been to Texas a couple times, to be fair. Both times to Dallas. Once to go see the Cowboys play the New York Giants as a Cowboys fan in their season where they won one game. That's one of the few times I've been to Dallas to watch a Cowboys game. Recently went back to watch Mikey Garcia fight Dallas, Texas's Errol Spence, which was a fun fight. I never seen a championship fight down in that new Cowboy Stadium, which is kind of amazing, but it's easy to get lost getting out of there, Terry.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I've never been there, so I don't know.
We probably spent I don't know if this is funny or bad or just reflects poorly upon me, but we probably spent more time looking for the car after we got out of the stadium than we were in the stadium. It was actually anyway, funny story. So let's get cracking right away, Terry, with PARX, even though it's a little bit behind schedule. Oh, before we get to that, Terry, did you get a chance to watch the show last night, Horse Center with Daniel Centeno?
I did.
What did you think about that?
Oh, I liked it. It was a good show. Yeah. Very, very good.
A lot of fun stuff in there. And it
Yeah.
amazes me one of the stories we covered was some French money laundering out of in horse racing. And
Yeah.
I really wonder why they don't write movies. They take these actual real live events where we talked about one where the guy in Australia was a baggage handler. He took baggage off of airplanes, became a trafficker, became rich, got into horse racing. He lived a party life, and and then of course eventually it crashed and burns. But I mean, I think these would make for some pretty interesting movies. Let's see if we can make some interesting picks today, Terry. Starting off at PARX, race number 1. Let's get started with. Why don't we do this first, Terry? Since race number 1 is coming up, let's just put up our hot dog picks because Terry loves to put us under the gun right off the get-go. Can't do his pick fours in the second and third pick four on the card of the day. It's got to do it in the first one.
That's right.
Like a monkey see, monkey do from me. I'm like, all right, fine, go ahead. All right, Terry, there's your hot dog pick 4, the 2, the 5, the 3, 11, and 5, the 6 and 7, 4 in race number 4, the 8, 2, and 1. For me, I'm going 2, 1, 5, 3, 5, 8, 6, 1, and 8, 2. So a little bit different makeup there. Let's talk about the picks that make up those hot dog pick fours, Terry. Get us started with race. Before we do this, Terry, I get a little too ahead of myself sometimes. Race 1 is maiden claiming, Terry. It's $40,000. It's 7 furlongs on they're on all the tracks. All the races today are on the dirt. I don't even know, does Parks have a grass course, Terry? But in any case, so far in 2022, there have been 6 races at 7 furlongs. 5, Terry, were won by speed, but not a single one managed to go wire to wire. And so far, every single win has been between posts 2 through 7. So nothing outside of 8, and the rail have not won. It looks to me like we got the same 4 picks, but in a little bit of a different order. So why do you like the 2?
Okay, I liked it too because it has the highest last speed rating. Uh, he drops in class today. He ran against tougher horses last race and ran a good second, closed from close to the pace. He has the best. His best dirt speed is faster than the average winning speed, and the trainer's really been in doing well. 5 mounts, 2 wins, and a third or second. And then I like number. Let me get back
5, it looks
here.
like.
Yeah, 5, 8 Danzas. He dropped in the class today. Then I like number 3, my brother Neil. The trainer jockey combination the last 14 days has won 50% of their starts. And then I like number 1, Codependent. Finished third versus tougher in the last race. Drops in class today. Trainer wins 33% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to race again. And the best start speed is fastest among today's starters.
So number 2, Dr. Doom, is one of those horses that we talked about, Terry, that always seems to put in a good effort, just not good enough to find the winner's circle, right?
Yeah.
10 times so far the horse has run, been in the money 6 of them, 3 seconds, 3 thirds, and then has run at PARX 7 times with 3 seconds and 2 thirds in 7 races at PARX. So one of those horses, again, that's always around the barbershop. I'm going to start calling these Denzel Denzel Washington, right? He's the actor.
That's
He's
right.
the one that says that if you spend enough time around the barbershop, eventually you're going to get a haircut. So this is a Denzel Washington horse. It spends enough time around the winner's circle. It's finally going to spend some time in the winner's circle, Terry. Horses taking the Tom Carley drop. I've got names for everything, huh?
You
Going
do.
from the Tom Carley drop from maiden special weight to maiden claiming, coming off the highest last race speed figure. Codependent, it's probably way too many relationships are, right? Has the second best early pace speed numbers. It's also a horse that's making the Tom Carley drop special weight down the maiden claiming. As you mentioned, was the favorite last time out. And Robert Reed, the trainer, does bounce back a third of the time. Number 5, Terry, 8 Danzas, does have the fastest opening quarter fractions that any horse in this field has been able to produce. Last time out showed that it can continue to do that, running some really good fractions. And the third horse in the field that's making the Tom Carley drop. And finally, my brother Neil, Terry, this horse is making a different sort of drop, Terry. It's dropping from a larger track to a smaller track, which is a drop that I like. I think last time out ran at Aqueduct, and it has the top early pace figures in the lead in the entire field. It's not dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming, but it is moving down from a $42,000 purse to a $30,000 purse. And I wonder if an Aqueduct maiden claiming 40 is about the same level or maybe a little bit higher than what it's running against today. What do you think?
I think it is, yes. I really do. Yeah, I think coming from Aqueduct, a little bit classier horses.
So race number 2, Terry, is claiming $7,500 non-winners of 2 lifetime, purse is $20,000. In this case, they're running 1 mile and 70 yards on the main track. They've run 10 races so far at that distance. Terry, take a guess how many of them were won by speed horses.
Probably I'd say at least 80% of them.
Close. 9. So 90%, 9 out of 10 won by speed, with half of the, Terry, 5 out of 10 horses that have won at the distance so far have done so on the lead. And the post positions are pretty fair between 1 and 7. They play pretty evenly. But if you get a number 8 or higher, you actually have had an edge so far in 2022. So which horses do you think have the edge in this race, Terry?
Well, I started with one that doesn't go in the lead, number 3. And I think that's an L. So it's Lova, or it can be an Iova.
I'm going to say it's Iova is what I'm going to say.
Iova, yeah.
Because it looks to me like it's a capital I. So yeah, I'm going to go with Iova. And I don't want the pronunciation police coming back after us again today, Terry. So I'm going to go with Iova.
All right. Well, she ran second versus similar in her last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then I like number 11, Wonder City. Drops in class today. The trainer wins 33% of the time when he drops a horse 2 classes. And she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Then I like number 5, Al Grato. Ran second versus similar in the last race and has the highest last race speed rating. And then Spakesher's Gold ran second versus similar in the last race.
All right, so that's your 4 picks. I'm going to go with number here once again, Terry. I don't know. You're spying on my notes again, my friend. I have we have the same 4 horses, just again in a little bit of different order. But again, we picked the same one on top. So Iowa, as I mentioned, speed does win. This horse has the fastest fractions than any horse has put on the track for these horses in this field. Another one of those Denzel Washington horses, Terry, that spends a lot of time around the winner's circle, sniffing the winner's circle, but hasn't found a way to get into it yet. Maybe today is the day that it can get that done at a good price too. What, 6-1 morning line odds? So that's not bad. The next horse on my list is number 5, Allegretto. Last race speed figure in this race, Terry, top in the field, but it also was above par for this this level here at PARX, and 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So that horse is walking up the ladder. It's getting better from race to race to race. And if that trend continues, it runs above par, it's going to be hard for folks to run them down. Number 8 is Speightster's Gold. If you look in the last race, Terry, the 6 furlong fractions were a little bit better. So I expect that you'll see the horse do good. And then it also ran some of the fastest opening fractions last time out. And if you recall, we mentioned that speed is the way to win at the distance at PARX, 1 mile and 70 yards. And finally, number 11, Wonder City, is a horse that's taking a 2-class drop today, Terry. Not 1, but 2. And trainer Cathell Lynch, when Cathell does that, that's a 33% winning angle. So as far as I'm concerned, 33% winning angle delivers a ton of alpha, Terry. And anytime you can get a ton of alpha, it's worth considering. Race number 3, my friend, is 4.5 furlongs. We don't see too many of these, like on the East Coast circuit, the 4.5 furlong races, Terry.
No, they're mostly like at Los Alamitas.
Yeah, or like
California.
Turf Paradise, you see them, or you do see them a lot at places like Charlestown.
Yeah,
but you don't really see a whole lot of them at. Well, we're in race 3, right?
that's right.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 6.5 furlongs, Terry. I wrote down the wrong number. I have bad typing skills, fat fingers, right? Anyway, so they've run 3 races at the distance. 2 were won by actually stalkers and closers, Terry. But the third one went wire to wire. And these are all 2022 numbers. So kind of getting a sense of how the track is playing right now. And all winners came from posts 4, 5, 6, or 7, Terry. Once again, we start with the same horse. So why do you like 6 horse?
Well, ran second versus similar in her only start, and doing that, she received the highest last speed rating.
Mm-hmm.
And this trainer wins 19% of the time when he has added Lasix for the first time. And then the best dirt speed is the fastest among starters today. And like I said, Lasix been added. Then I like number 7, Frieders Vrantic, high percentage jockey and trainer. And then I like number 5, Paper Manson. Had a hot jockey in the last 7 days who's won 5 out of 12 races. Sharp workout on the 12th of January and was bumped in her last start, which kind of affected her somewhat. Mm-hmm. Then I like number 4, Reed's Fangirl.
Number 4, or you got number 3? Which one?
Oops.
So I have 3 up here. So this 3? Is number 4 for you?
Let me look at.
All right. I don't know why I have the 3, but I can switch it to 4.
Yeah, it's number 4.
Right,
Reed's Fangirl. And she finished 3rd in her last race at Churchill Downs, and she's got Lasix added today. So,
and this 6 horse here is your best bet of the day, right?
It is, yes.
And Misty Mauve. So I was thinking about making Misty Mauve my best bet too, because horse did run. She did run a last race speed figure above par for this group, and on top of that early pace figure, Terry, she does have also the best combination of early pace and late pace. I found quite a few winners on the card yesterday at Santa Anita had that combination where they had the top scores for both of those combined. And then, and that early pace, late pace figure combination is by far the highest score in the field. And this is a horse that's getting first time Lasix, Terry. It also shows a little bit of pace, so not so bad about that. Number 1 is my second choice, Martinez. Amica is dropping from an $80,000 purse down to a $42,000 purse. By far the best race last time out that the horse has run. and put in a really good workout since. So I'm expecting some more improvement. I agree with you. I like number 4, Reed's Fangirl. This is a horse, again, one of my favorite angles that I've come to love in 2021 and plan on playing a lot in 2022. We saw it over and over and over again. Horses that flash early speed kind of maybe sometimes fade late. Sometimes they don't fade, but they got that early speed, and then they get that first dose of Lasix, and then look out. And on top of that, the horse has run the fastest quarter-mile fraction that any horse has produced in this field, and it has the top pedigree to go the distance and surface. So a lot of good things going on for Reed's Fangirl right there, Terry.
That's
Number
true.
7, Frieder Fanatic. Terry had a solid debut. I expect the horse to be second, better in round 2 off the bench. And is another one that last time out ran some of the fastest fractions for any horse in the field. And when you look at the jockey trainer combination, Terry, it's one of the tops in the field. If it's kind of hard to beat that combination of well, you have Frankie Pennington and Luis Linder Jr. The trainer wins at 20%, Frankie wins at 17%, but somehow they haven't won together. So maybe today is the day that the two actually can shine. Race number 4. Hopefully I got all your picks right here, Terry. We start to the same thing. And the funny thing is, folks, Terry does send me his picks the night before. I don't really look at them because I know I'm going to get a second sheet later on in the day, tomorrow morning, where all the scratches and stuff come in and any corrections. But it's kind of funny because we're both starting with the 8, the 2, and the 1. The only horse that we have is different is the 9 horse. So why don't you tell me why you like the 9? I'll tell you why we like the 4, and then we can talk about the 8, 2, and 1.
Oh, okay. Well, I like the number 9 because this horse, Mr. Shenanigans, has a lot of early speed, and I kind of like that in this race. He's ran third 4 times out of 8, and he's coming in from Penn National to try here at PARX. So that's why I like the 9.
Does have a lot of early speed, Terry. First time with a new trainer. Leonardo Moreno Barban has done that 38 times. Terry only managed, I think, to win 1 of them. So not been the top angle for him. For me, I like the 4 horse. Terry, that's, let me page up a little bit. No tolerance, Terry. It's something I have for when I make bad picks. No tolerance for that. But no tolerance last time out. Ran some better fractions, kind of probably hidden in the past performances. But when you calculate them out, definitely ran a little bit quicker. Getting a small drop in class today and also getting a small weight break. So I think those 2 things can combine to help him out. So why don't you tell us why you like the 8, 2, and run real quick, and then I'll why don't you tell me what you like about the 8? I'll tell you what I like about the 8. You tell me what you like about the 2. I'll tell you what I like about the 2, and so on through the 1. So
okay,
why do you like the 8?
Well, I like Majestic Sky because ran second versus Tougher in the last race and received the highest last race speed rating. Drops in class today, and the best start speed is the fastest among today's starters.
Now, this is a horse that's being turned around real quick, Majestic Sky, by its trainer. Ran less than 20 days ago. Last time out, Terry, as you mentioned, ran the top last race speed figure. In fact, it was so good that it was above par for this class. So, and that was in its first start off the bench. I'm expecting to see better numbers in race number 2. Speaking of 2, that's both of our second picks. So we'll take control. This horse is running its first time off the claim for trainer Daniel Velasquez, which is a 24% winner for the trainer. And as you know, Terry, I'm big into cycles. This horse is running its 3rd start off a layoff. Last time out, the 3rd start was as good as the 2nd start, which was better than the 1st start. So I expect the horse will take control to run at least as well as it did last time, maybe with the some improvements from its new trainer, actually improve in round 3 off the bench. Why do you like the 2?
I like it because number 1, it has a bullet workout on January 12th, which to me shows it's pretty ready to run. And actually, the workout prior to that was pretty good too on the 31st. I like the jockey, Anthony Nuez. He's doing fairly good, 70% win clip. And the trainer wins 24% of the time the first time he runs a horse after claiming it.
And now for the 1 horse, Inoto, why do you like that one? Inano.
Yeah. Well, first of all, this horse is dropping in class, and it finished 3rd against a lot tougher horses last race. And then I like the uh, workout, but the thing is, it was way back in August, so it's not really relevant here. So there you go.
For me, the horse has some of the best late pace figures in the field, Terry. And this is a race that's 1 mile and a 16th. We didn't talk about the profile of a winner yet. So they've had 4 races so far, split 50-50 between 4 races so far in 2022. They've had 4 races split 50-50 between stalkers, closers, and speed horses. Only one of the 4 went wire to wire, Terry. And of the winners, all of them, 3 of the 4 winners came from post 4 through 7, Terry. No Tolerance is taking a small drop. I'm sorry. He's tied for the top last race. Tied for the highest last late pace figures. This is a problem when you abbreviate everything in your notes. I don't know if I'm saying last or late, but yeah, tied for the highest last. Here I go again. Late pace figures. Excuse me. And the horse has run very well at PARX, being in the money 4 out of 6. Oof, I tongue-tied myself, Terry, between last and late.
That's it. Yeah.
So race number 5, Terry, is my box it up. This card is filled what I think could be a lot of box it ups, because outside of the 6 horse, Terry, that Mike mentions is probably the favorite of the day there. A lot of these horse races have very competitive fields with odds that I think are like, but there's really not a heavy favorite, right? So I'm going to go with race number 5. My box it up here, Terry, is number 1, Mr. Sandman, Terry. And this is a 6 furlong race, 10 of them so far in 2022. 6 of them won by speed, Terry, but yet none have gone wire to wire. The rail is yet to win, and an inside-out bias. So, of course, what do I do, Terry? I start with the rail horse. I go against the bias. I go against the non-winning rail because, well, sometimes I'm nuts. But Mr. Sandman, last time out, Terry, won by more than a length. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So this is a horse that's definitely improving from race to race. Did run the top last race speed figure last time out, and is getting Lasix for the first time. So how I've beaten that horse quite like a jockey that gets fined. In any case, number 6, Perfect Day, won the debut by 5.5 lengths, Terry. So that tells me that horse wasn't even trying. Has more in the tank there. Is going to get first-time Lasix. Horse was up near the lead. It has the top pedigree and obviously ran some pretty fast fractions. So you got that speed. Horse didn't really work very hard. Getting a little dose of Lasix. Hopefully all that adds up to a horse that competes for the win. Number 4, Southern Runner, Terry. This horse ran for $100,000 last time out, Terry, compared to $42,000 today. So that's a significant price decrease. It's deflation instead of inflation. Horse is making its 3rd start off the bench, Terry. And the last time out, the horse ran a 3-race cycle. Southern Runner, Terry, that number was considerably better than the first 2. So it was the best in the cycle. And finally, number 5, Father Walsh. You can never bet against the father, right, Terry?
That's right.
And it has some of the fastest fractions that this horse is at any horse in this field. In fact, it's run the fastest opening quarter mile than any horse in the field. Has a decent work on December 15th. And when you team up jockey Silvera and Jamie Ness, the trainer, those 2 hit at a combined 32%, which is a huge alpha number as well. So that's my box it up, Terry. How do you like race number 5?
I like number 6, Perfect Day. And as you said, won its debut race at Penn National and really easily. Was well bet in that debut, and Lasix being added this time. Then I like number 1, Mr. Sandman. It won its last race at PARX, has the highest last speed rating, and the best dirt speed as fast as among today's starter. And also, it has Lasix added. Then I like Crabs and Beer. You got to like crabs and beer.
Well, it depends on the crabs, Terry, the kind of crabs.
Well,
some of them are not so friendly.
Well, that's true, too.
And where do you get them? We'll leave that be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Drops in class today, and the trainer in the last 14 days has had a pretty good run. 14 entries, 5 wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds. And I like number 5, Father Walsh. Won last race at Finger Lakes. Just prior to that was running that a lot tougher horses.
Yeah, like Belmont and so forth.
Yeah.
It was facing higher. It's that track drop, as I call it.
Yeah. And then it switches to Ruben Severa.
Severia, huh?
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is he's winning at 29% clip right now. And then this trainer jockey combination with Jamie Ness as the trainer in the last 14 days has finished in the money 7 times, won 3 of those.
Not bad. So this also kicks off your prime rib pick for Terry in race
Yeah.
number 5. So you're going to go with the 6 and the 1 and the 3 here. And this will give us some space then to talk about the rest of your picks here. But race number 6, you're going 4 deep the rest of the way out. So all 4 of your picks in race 6, 7, and 8. Mine's going to start in race 7. So we're going to have the last 8 races that combine for, well, last 7 races, right? Because there's a little bit of overlap there.
Yeah.
Actually, no, last 6 races, quite a bit of overlap. So let's get a look at our picks then, Terry. For race there, you see Terry's prime rib pick 4. You see mine, which starts in race number 7. So if you want to take a note of that, go ahead. Make sure to, I mean, at the end, we'll recap and I'll put all the picks up there as well. And you can always come back to horseracingtoday.net, where you can get Terry's best bet of the day. You can get a recap of the show, links to some of the things that we talk about, Terry. So for me, race number 5, you did your picks already for race number 5, right?
I did.
So did I. So race number 6 is 1 mile, Terry. It is 9 races so far, 5 won by speed, 2 wire to wire. The rail and 4 through 7 have won all of them. No number from 8 and out so far, Terry, has managed to find the winner circle. So it looks to me like 2 and 3 and 8s you don't want. I don't think the 8s and plus is really an issue today. So how do you line them up?
Okay. In race number 6, I like number 7, Icy Cold. Finished 3rd versus similar in the last race. And the trainer wins 30% of the time the first time he uses Lasix with the entry. This trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 5 races. Then I like number 6, Undercover Kitty. The trainer wins 28% of the time with the horse with the first time Lasix. Then number 4, Uncle Gary G ran 2nd in his last race and received the highest last race speed rating. Has the best dirt speed among today's starters. And this is another one that Lasix is being added. And then number 5, Mischievous Jones, was well bet in the debut. The trainer wins 30% of the time when with first-time Lasix. A lot of horses in here getting first-time Lasix, and this trainer's won 2 out of 5. So
yeah, I think a lot of them are getting first-time Lasix. When we talked about this on the Player's Edge with Chantel, it's because they're 3-year-olds. So 2-year-olds aren't allowed to get Lasix. So now it's the first time that they're allowed to get Lasix. So it doesn't surprise me that you see a lot of Lasix usage there. Funny, once again, Terry, that we have the same 4 horses. So we're either going to have a tremendous day at PARX, or we're going to have a horrible day. There's not going to be any in between, because you and I are both on the same page for a lot of horses, which is just maybe a little bit different order. That's what's going on there. We missed race number 1. So did race number 1 come in, Terry?
Yeah, it's coming. It's 7 wins at the 2. My first choice ran 2nd. So
no, so the 7 horse got us.
Yeah, the 7 horse got us. My
so
5
7
horse
2 what?
I didn't see the last. Let me look here. Just take a minute here.
In the meantime, I'll tell you what I like about race number 6. Undercover Kitty is a beaten favorite. Trainer Cathal Lynch rebounds at 36%. Horse that's getting some first-time Lasix. Number 7, Icy Cold, improved a little bit in race number 2 from its debut. It's a horse that ran better fractions last time out, so I think the addition of first-time Lasix could really help Icy Cold. Number 4, Uncle Gary G. Top last race speed figure. Terry owns some of the fastest fractions out of any horse in this field. Should be better in the second route. So second time around at a mile should work to its benefit. The trainer improves in that respect. And again, a horse with speed and Lasix. And number 5, Mischievous Jones, was decently bet in its debut. Has the top early pace numbers for any horse in this field by a wide margin. And it's also another one of those horses that's getting some first-time Lasix. So, you know, these maiden races, just about anything can go, right?
That's right.
So race number 7, Terry, is your box it up. That's first race. Jimmy says went 7. Jimmy Little said 7-2-1-3. All right. Well, we just missed the 7. We had all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Too bad.
That's
Hopefully
it.
we can catch that 7 horse tomorrow. But like I said today, with all of us with you and I having so many common picks, it's going to be one of those days where you light it up or we get lit up, and hopefully it's a lighted up from race 2 on down, Terry.
That's right.
So let me pull up your box it up, Terry, and then you could tell us why you like Divine Miracle, Perfect Revenge, Rack Gin. It can't stop this man. But the box it up is where we take all 4 horses. We do a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box. So why do you think Divine Miracle, Perfect Revenge, Rack Gin, and Can't Stop This Man is the race to do this in?
All right. Well, Divine Miracle number 8 finished in the money 3 out of the last 4 races and won 2 of those races. The trainer jockey combination the last 14 days has finished in the money 7 times, winning 3 of the races, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Number 5, Perfect Revenge, finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, receiving the highest last speed rating, a tie with one other horse. She has the highest speed rating at today's distance and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 6, Rack Gin, finished in the money in 10 out of 14 races last year and won 2 of those. Had a disappointing race this last time, but had a really poor start in a wide trip. So I'll throw that race out. Number 1, Can't Stop This Man, finished in the money 4 out of 5 career races, winning 2 of those races, and has a sharp workout on January 12th.
Can't Stop This Man, Terry. That's kind of got to be like your mentality going into life, right? Can't stop
That's
this
right.
man. Sounds almost like a James Brown song, if you ask me. No, can't stop this man. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it does kind of sound like that. Divine Miracle, Terry, is a horse that does win. He's won more than 40% of its races. It's tied for the top pedigree for the distance and surface. So you got to like that the horse is bred for this. And this is a 7 furlong race, like the first race. Again, 6 races, 5 won by speed. Maybe this time we can win a 7 furlong race. Terry, last race was a speed figure better than par, and the horse has increased its speed figure. So walking up that ladder 4 steps in a row, and it's got that jockey trainer combo of Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. Number 1, the James Brown, Can't Stop This Man, has the 2 fastest open. He's got ran some of the fastest opening fractions for any horse last time out. At PARX has a good record. Terry has got 4 runs there, 2 wins, a second, and no thirds. And at the distance, he's run 4 times with a second and 2 thirds and had much faster fractions in its last race. So Can't Stop This Man looks like he's moving up that ladder. Perfect Revenge, Terry, is another horse that the trainer is turning around pretty quickly. Has a last race speed figure better than needed for this level, Terry, so above par. 3rd off a layoff. And again, looking at the previous 3 race cycle, the 3rd race was by far the best of the 3 races. And finally, number 2, Terry, where we disagree. Maine is the top early pace numbers in this field, has the best combination of early pace and late pace. When you add them up, it's the number 1 scorer. It's the other horse to tie for the top pedigree, so another bred for this distance, but it was a tough call for me with the number 7 Excursion. So that would have been the horse I put in there in case there was a scratch. Race number 8, Terry, is 5.5 furlongs. A little different distance than we've seen so far today. 7 races, 5 won by speed, 2 go winner to winner, wire to wire. And all 4 winners, Terry, were at least a number 4. So you're on the right side with your first pick. I'm not. Why do you like the 5 horse?
Well, Victory Built ran 2nd versus similar in the last race and received the highest last race speed rating. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And they're going to add blinkers today. Then I like number 8, Dancing Dragon. The trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have won 50% of their mounts. And then number 6, Clemza.
Number 6?
Yeah. Finished.
Clemenza.
Clemenza.
Mm-hmm.
In the money 50% of the time last year. Has a really good workout at Monmouth Park, 3 furlongs, 37 breezing. Then number 2, Unpeachable, finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, and the trainer wins 29% of the time in the 2nd race after bringing a horse back from a layoff.
You did mention that the trainer does win very well a 2nd time off a layoff. I'm also expecting the horse to improve off a 2nd layoff. But the trainer, Kathleen Damasi, also wins at 27% when the horse gets beat as a favorite Last time out, Unimpeachable was the favorite, did get beat. And then, and even though it got beat, it ran some of the best opening fractions out of any horse in this field. So should be up on the gas right from the get-go, Terry. Number 6, Clemenza, does have the top pedigree and the best early pace and late combo score in the field. And this is a very competitive field, Terry. When I was going through this, I felt like I could have made a case for half the horses, 6, 7 horses in this field, hands down. But in any case, horse has done well. Clemenza at PARX ran there 3 times, ran her up twice. So hopefully this time might get the job done. Number 5, Victory, built Terry. It's a horse that the trainer's turning around again, has done well at PARX. Again, a kind of a Denzel Washington horse, 7 times across the PARX track, 3 seconds and a third, yet to find the winner's circle. Did run the top last race speed figure, and it's the only horse in the field that's running for a smaller purse this time than it did last time, but not by much. Only, I think, about by $3,000, something like that. And finally, number 7, Bucks Are Moving. This is a horse that, again, another Denzel Washington horse, likes to spend a lot of time around the winner's circle, doesn't really win a whole lot. 3 consecutive speed figure increases, and in the money at PARX, 9 out of 14 so far, Terry. And in those 9 to 14 races, Terry, that it's been there, only one of them was a winner. So it's only one win in 18 races, happened to be at PARX. Absolutely pure Denzel Washington horse.
Yep.
Race number 8, 9, Terry, is, let me pull up the conditions. It is 1 mile and 70 yards, optional claiming $40,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. Again, this one, they're running 1 mile and 70 yards on the main course. This is, again, surprisingly, that we're seeing that the routes have a much stronger speed bias than the sprints do, because 9 of the 10 races were won by speed, with half of the 10 going wire to wire. And you have edge on the outside with the 8 and up, Terry. But the posts 1 through 7 are pretty fair as well. This case, we have a little bit of a different. We have 3 of the same horses, except I have a different winner than you do. I have a horse that you don't even have. So kind of interesting to see why. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I like number 8, Florida Gator. Finished in the money in the 4 career races. And, finished 3rd versus Tougher in the last race and drops in class today and then Lasix added. Then I like number 2, Mischief Road, won his debut race at 7 furlongs at this track. And he now stretches out to 1 mile and 70 yards, which I think he can handle looking at how his running style is. Mm-hmm. And then number 9, Uncle Irish, has the best dirt speed among today's starters. Can improve with blinkers being added today. The trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days, as I've said a couple of times, has done really well. And then number 5, No Need to Worry, won his last race at PARX, and he could improve with Lasix being added.
It's funny. I don't know if this scares me or encourages me, Terry, but my 10 horse is my best bet, and you don't even have it in your top 4. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm going to hope for a good thing, because my best bet did manage to win yesterday.
It did.
And your best bet finished 2nd. So we had the ice cold exacta on best bets. We can go with that. Number 10, Nostalgic Run, Terry, has the top pedigree for the distance and surface. Does show some early speed and is getting first-time Lasix, Terry, so you know how I like that. It does have an outside bias. I like that as well. So the horse fits the track bias, fits the speed bias, and it has some really good workouts getting ready. So I think you're going to see Nostalgic Run get towards the front and then have a very difficult time for the other horses to catch it, because when that Lasix kicks in, it's going to be able to keep its wind. Number 2, Mischief Road, Terry, won its debut by 6.5 lengths, like you said. Whenever you see a horse come out and do that, you know they didn't work very hard. So there's a lot left in the tank there. So I am expecting to see improvement in round 2 off the, round 2 in its career for Mischief Road. Number 8, Florida Gator. Right, that's what they do. Horse does have some early pace, is getting the Lasix for the first time. And there's that angle from the big track to the small track drop. And this horse in every single one of its races so far, Terry, has been well bet. And finally, number 9, Uncle Irish, had the top debut speed figure by far. And then they ran that horse up the competitive ladder real fast, probably facing more than it should have been facing early on in its career. So this is the smallest, but this is the lowest level the horse has run against since its debut, Terry. And again, we have that Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera combinations, which brings us to the last race, Terry. Number 10, 6 furlongs, 10 races, 6 won by speed, Terry. None have gone wire to wire. Once again, you have an outside bias here, Terry. How are you going to close shop on, here we go again with the same 4 picks, Terry.
Yeah, and let me say that race before the 10 and the 5, I was having a hard time deciding which one to put in my fourth spot.
Yeah. Excuses. You're just trying to jinx me. So Mike really likes the 8 horse in race number 9. So is that your best bet, Mike, today too? Or you and Terry betting against me? Boo! That happened last night on the horse center. We talked about the NFL game last night. Myself, Sean, and Daniel Centeno, the jockey from Tampa Bay Downs, 6-time champion down there, and they both took the Arizona Cardinals. I am the lone one to take the Los Angeles Rams. So I hope if you watch that show, not only do you play our horses, but you played my pick because you cashed in by halftime last night.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you that quarterback with the quarterback, the one on the other side with the
Kyle Murray,
the Cardinals. Yeah, he did. He just got panicked too much. I mean, he should have taken that 2-point safety instead of trying to throw that ball up, and I mean it was just ridiculous. So anyway,
I feel like the Rams are the team to beat. To be honest with you, Jimmy, I think they're most complete on both sides of the ball. I think getting Cam Akers back is going to be a benefit that people don't really expect. So they're going to have a pretty decent run combination, and I don't know that anybody has a better passing. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp, you have Van Jefferson who plays well, you got Higbee. I mean, you got a great quarterback in Matt Stafford, just a complete team, I think. And I just feel like too, this matchup for them coming up against the Buccaneers is one that works. And now we're getting way off on a tangent here, not horse racing, but when you look at the Rams are made to stop the pass. That's the only thing Tampa Bay can do. And then on the other side of the field, Tampa Bay's defense really struggles with the pass, and the Rams are a prolific passing team. I don't even know what the line is yet right now, but I feel like I'm going to take the Rams. I haven't done my homework yet, but I feel like I'm going to take the Rams. Mike mentions that race 10 is wide open, and I think it's going to be wide open as well, Terry. Somehow in a wide open race, we have the same 4 picks, just in a little bit of a different order. And I wonder how in the world does that happen in a wide open race, because this one is 6 furlongs, claiming 7,500, non-winners of 4 lifetime. It's a 6 furlong race, Terry, as we mentioned, does tend to favor speed. So tell us why you like the 4 you like, and I'll tell you why I like the 4 I like, and we'll call it a day.
Okay, well, I'm going to say before that, I'm hoping that the 49ers don't meet the Rams, because after beating the Rams 6 times in the last 6 times they've met, I'm a little superstitious they may not win the 7th one. Anyway, in the 10th race, in the 10th race, I like number 9, Barrico.
Let's see, number 9. Let's go with
Barrico.
It's Barilco.
Anyway, has a lot of early speed and should improve at the shorter distance. And the trainer jockey combination, and we've talked about 2 or 3 times, has been in the money 7 out of 8 times and won 3 of those. Then I like number 6, Diesel, drops in class today. Can improve at a shorter distance, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with another horse. Then there's Mission, wrap it up, number 7, likes the track and the distance. Best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, which he's tied with the 6. And then I like number 2, Mondays with Mike. He's got a really good trainer.
6, Diesel for me, Terry, dropping in class, as you mentioned. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. And if you look at those early pace number, Terry's, they are very strong, very consistent. And if that horse happens to run 4 races back at PARX, but that one was on the slop. But if it were to run that race again, where it won by 5, got to the lead and never really gave it up, I think all the other horses in the field would have a very difficult time keeping pace. Mission, wrap it up. First time off a claim from Michael Pino, Terry, 260 times. So pretty good data set. So it looks like Michael knows what he's doing when he claims a horse. Wins 20% of the time. Has a pretty good record at PARX. Getting a little bit of a weight drop there, Terry. So a little bit of an advantage there, maybe with Andy Hernandez only carrying 114 pounds. Number Number 9 is my third selection, Barlico, as we've gone through that already. Does have early pace. I am a bit concerned, Terry, about that last couple races where it showed some early pace and then died off. Bad word for horses. Faded. Sorry about that. But here you have Jamie Ness, the first time off of Acclaim, Terry. He's done it 402 times and won 31% of them. So that's a heck of an angle right there. And what's interesting is, Terry, Jamie Ness is out on the Delaware PARX, that sort of the Atlantic horse racing circuit, one of the top trainers out there. And yet off the claim, Terry, because he's always going to be bet down, especially when he's teamed up at Ruben Severa. Off the claim, he's almost got a positive ROI. He's just down 3 cents on 402 races, which is a pretty solid number right there. And finally, the last horse of the day for us, number 2, that's Mondays with Mike, Terry. It just looks to me like this horse is getting a little bit better in its numbers last time out. Should be one of the horses that's making a strong run at the end. But again, it's wide open in there. I think just about anything could happen. If I were going to go a horse away from the 2 horse, I'd probably go with the 11 Twixie Cat. So that wraps up our picks for today, Terry. How close are they to running the second race at PARX?
About let's see here. They're still in the paddock. About 7 minutes.
No, still 7 minutes to go. So let's take this next few minutes, kind of run through our picks again real quick. Here is let's start. Well, it doesn't matter because the first pick 4 is already out of the way, right?
Yeah.
So here is our prime rib pick 4. Terry's doing his in races 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm doing mine in 7, 8, 9, and 10 with that wide open last leg. And you know what's going to happen in that wide open last leg, Terry, right? Always happens.
Some big long shot's going to win.
No, here's what's going to happen, Terry. I'm going to be live to the end, and it's going to go favorite.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it seems to go.
Yeah.
Here's our box it up. Terry's doing race number 7. I'm doing race number 5. $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. And then finally, here are all of our picks again for the day, Terry. And I mean, let me go up here. It says, come on now, Excel, cooperate Excel. There you go. So you can see all of our picks for the day today at PARX.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here?
Well, just my race of the day. It's actually
Let me pull that up, Terry. You're right about. How did your race of the day you do yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday my top.
Well, you know what? It looks to me like it doesn't matter because Penn is canceled today.
Oh, is it really?
Mm.
Oh, wow. Well, yesterday my top pick ran second, paid $360 and $210, and my second pick ran third. So I did not get the exacta.
So you did not get things the way you wanted them to go, then, huh?
No, and I didn't. Wow, I can imagine why Penn's canceled. Yeah.
Well, probably because the weather is probably pretty bad out in Pennsylvania. But it must be bad weather's coming. You think, Terry? Because I mean, PARX is running right now, right?
Yeah, it is, and it didn't look that bad out there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Why.
Well, we'll see what happens, right, in that respect, in terms of what's coming on there. So tonight, make sure you check out Horse Center. Here at the same channel. So if you like what you saw today in terms of picks, you like what Sean and I are doing at night, make sure you subscribe here at Racing Radar TV, Terry. And I laugh a little bit because, we said last week we had Chantel on, and she was on a show called Past the Wire last night because apparently she was getting some static over a couple of things she said on our podcast. If you haven't caught that, it's on horseracingtoday.net. You can see it here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe at Racing Radar TV. Give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. It helps us with the Google algorithms. But she was on that show Past the Wire last night, and she got a little bit of static in terms of what she said. So tonight we have on Darius Thorpe, jockey. So this should be a pretty good show in that respect. So we like that as well. And then follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Horse Race Today. Let us know what your thoughts are there. Tomorrow, Terry, we're going to do Gulfstream Park, right?
That's correct.
So we shouldn't have any weather issues tomorrow at Gulfstream Park. And then finally, and then on Thursday, we're going to do Aqueduct, right?
Yep.
I hope we're going to do better later on in the day. I agree with you. So we're going to do Aqueduct on Friday. If you want us to include your picks, you have any comments, questions, hey, and we like when you tell us some of the things that you like to do here too as well. So one of the things that Mike Watkins says is he likes to downgrade horses when they face horses that have already dropped that didn't win. So, we learn a lot as well from jockeys, trainers, and so forth. So make sure if you have an angle that works for you, this is a community. Please share it on Facebook. Please share it on Twitter. Soon, Sean's going to have it up on Instagram. You can share it with us there too. Encourage everybody to get Sean out there dancing on TikTok with while he's juggling chainsaws. I want to see that as well. All right, Terry, that's it for today. Again, any final thoughts?
No, just hope that weather doesn't get anybody in trouble. Be careful. Don't be driving if there's too much weather, and have a good week. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Terry and I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock out by Terry with our Gulfstream Park picks. Until then, we hope races 2 through 10 picks end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday, everybody.